Hey guys, welcome to today's video where I am going to discuss some of the lesser known African creatures in mythology. Today I am joined by...
Hello everyone, it's Jabari and I'm from nothing. Well, actually, I have a YouTube channel called From Nothing, where I focus on the ignored, neglected, yet very interesting aspects about sub-Saharan African history, culture, and in this particular case, mythology. Antoine and I are going to cover 10 very interesting and unique mythological beasts throughout the African continent. The first 5 are going to be covered on this channel, and if you want to see the top 5, I'll be covering them over on my channel. I hope to see you there.
Let's get started with number 10. The Chaga people of Tanzania believed in a giant fish named Massamba. They were similar in size to the baleen whale, who were around 23 feet long. Not as big as the great big whale, it's about the size of a humpback whale, but still, pretty substantial. It's said that when the Massamba comes up for air, its eyes glow bright. In some mythologies, it's a form of a seahorse. No, not that kind of a seahorse. It's noted that some mermaids rode them through the ocean like a steed of the sea. At number 9, we have Obah, also spelled Obia, like this, in West African folklore. It is a gigantic animal that steals into villages and kidnaps girls on the behalf of witches. In certain cultures of African diaspora, particularly in Jamaica, the term itself denotes forms of sorcery and witchcraft, black magic of vengeance and power. At number 8, we have the aziza, who come from West Africa's Dahomey tribes. They were the fairy creatures of Africa, benevolent beings who protected the natural environments they inhabited. They were often said to have a glowing, childlike beauty with wings similar to butterflies. At number 7, we have a special little creature. Many may be familiar with the gremlin or goblin trope from European mythology. For Africa, that dwarf-like trope goes to the Tokoloshe or Tokoloshe. I actually really don't know how you pronounce it, so if anybody in the comments actually knows how it's pronounced, Tokoloshe or Tokoloshe, please tell me, because I don't know. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to call it a Tokoloshe. Part zombie, part poltergeist, and part gremlin. The Tokoloshe is a mischievous, evil spirit that plagued the Zulu and Xhosa people. And yes, I know I'm supposed to click when I say Xhosa, but I'd rather not embarrass myself.
The Xhosa language.
The creatures could cause sickness at the least and death at the worst, but most of the time they were a nuisance to a village in the same way that an insect infestation could be a nuisance, or Peeves from Harry Potter was a nuisance to the students of Hogwarts. Tokoloshe were difficult to capture because they could turn invisible, cloaking themselves from the human eye. The origins of these creatures come from humans themselves. Through ritual and magic, a Tokoloshe can be created by gouging out the eyes and tongue of a subject, and then crafting a hole in the skull with a hot poker. Most times, Tokoloshe start the size of an adult human, but their zombified bodies shrivel up to childlike proportions. The only way to expel a Tokoloshe from an area was through a shaman ritual, which acted as a repellent to the creatures. At number 6, we have these creepy creatures who I'll introduce with a story. One day, a hunter took his wife, at her insistence, into the forest, where he had a hut with a palisade around it. When he went out to inspect his traps, he told her, "When you hear a bell, do not move. If you do, you will die." Soon after he had left, she heard the charming sound of a little bell coming closer, for the Iloko had a good nose for feminine flesh. Finally, a gentle voice asked to be let into his room. It was like the voice of a child. The woman opened the door and there was an Iloko, smelling like the forest, looking small and innocent. She offered him a banana mash with fried fish, but he refused.
"We eat only human meat. I have not eaten for a long time. Give me a piece of your arm."
At last, the woman consented, totally under the spell of the Iloko. That night, the husband found her bones. Pretty creepy, right? Further along in this list, you'll see another creature that charms their subjects into complacency, but the Iloko were another of these creatures with a ferocious ability. The myth of the Iloko comes from the people of Zaire. They were said to live in the deepest and darkest corners of the rainforest, said to be the spirits of ancestors who still held to earthly grudges. And much like ghosts, they haunt the forest until their appetites are satisfied. True to their environment, the Iloko are covered in grass, moss, and leaves. Within their green skin, they carry tiny bells which hypnotize hunters and visitors to the forest dwellings. And when their subjects came close enough, they could swallow them whole with their snout-like mouths. And under their long green arms hid sharp claws. And for number 5 on this list, I'm gonna leave it to Jabari, whose channel is linked in the description below. If you want to hear about 10 more mythical creatures from Africa that you might not know, go ahead and head over to his channel and let him know that I sent you. But that's it from my end of this video. I'll see you guys on the next one, and as always, peace and much love to you.